Okay, so here's the bit here. So I'm gonna read off a few of my ideas, comedy ideas.
Okay.
Just hit me with the yay or nay. All right,
These are like your pitching premises to me?
yeah, so I'm not gonna like necessarily deliver it. I'm just gonna see if there's room for growth here.
Yeah. I mean, I guess here's my, I'll give you my take going in. Is it like, I kind of think more than likely, if I think there's something interesting about it, I'll say yes. That doesn't mean it'll work right away. But I do think, in all seriousness, I think you have to believe that your idea is good no matter what. You just have to figure out a way to develop it. The only exception is like, you may say something, I'll be like, yeah, dude, that's been done. Because that's where it's like, okay, man, yeah, you could do it, but it's been done.
Okay.
Done.
All right, so here it is. So when I was a kid, I recognized that my uncle was playing Santa at the Christmas get-togethers.
Yeah,
You think there's something there?
definitely, man. Yeah. It's, yeah, I mean, it's a good place to start. Absolutely.
All right, how about this one? Trying to wash Vaseline off my hands, even though I know water won't do it. Isn't
Yeah.
big enough?
Yeah.
You see Greg doing a special in a couple of months, so I'm washing Vaseline on.
Yeah, I know you. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Okay. We'll do a couple
The
more.
only time I use Vaseline, like if I get new shoes or like going walking with new shoes or whatever, I'll put Vaseline on my heels. But the trick I do is I go with the start with the paper towel. Just take the paper towel, put it in the Vaseline, rub it on my feet. Your hand never touches the Vaseline.
Okay. See, I'm using Vaseline for a different reason.
Okay.
All right, but yeah. Okay. Wait, so put it on the shoe. So put it on the shoes. It keeps the dirt off the shoe, or what?
Keeps you from getting blisters.
Blisters, man.
Come on.
Oh, so you go inside the shoe with it.
Yeah. I don't think outside it's gonna. I mean, maybe you know some I don't, but I think it's gonna be trash.
Oh, yeah.
If that works, I owe you.
Okay.
If that outside of the shoe with Vaseline works.
You getting blisters? You're getting blisters?
Completely counterintuitive, but
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I don't really get blisters on the shoes.
really, new shoes, man. I'm gonna get some.
You get them?
Yeah, a new pair.
Is that
Maybe like not like a new pair of I'm wearing some Nikes.
Those are pretty nice, yeah.
Thanks, man. Old school Nikes, man. Probably not these, no, but like dress shoes,
Yeah, okay.
or maybe even like something like if I'm going to work out in, maybe.
What are you still going the Nikes for the workout shoes?
Right now I got few pair. I got what do I got? I got the some Asics. I think it's like the Gel Nimbus or something like that. And then I got a Brooks.
Yeah. That's the trend.
Is that the trend?
Brooks.
Yeah.
I'm not familiar.
I think it's called the Beast, man. It's like a running shoe. It's pretty formidable. And then I got some Nikes that are really cushiony that I got from the Mizzou athletic department. I kind of stayed close to the athletic department through wrestling, and I've done a few. I did like an event for the wrestling team to raise money, and coach sent me some gear, man, and I guess I got some shoes.
Oh, nice.
Pretty sweet.
Was the St. Louis wrestling scene pretty good? I mean,
Yeah. They're the state tournaments this weekend. I'm
Oh, yeah?
down there after this. I'm gonna
oh, no kidding.
watch. One of my friends has a kid wrestling in it, so I'm gonna go down tonight. Go watch tomorrow.
You wrestled at Mizzou?
Yeah.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah.
He was an All-American.
I didn't do my research. What weight class?
158 my senior year. I was 150 the rest of the time there. I bumped up to 158 my senior year.
Would you do weight cutting for that, or would you would cut weight for?
And it was before there was a lot of rules around it.
Oh, yeah.
It's pretty intense.
Yeah, now you got to do the urine test and stuff.
Yeah, you got to know. Yeah, they test you at the beginning of the year, like to test your hydration, and then they test body fat and all that stuff. So you have less time. We used to have it at minimum 5 hours before we wrestled, so you could do some pretty crazy stuff.
Oh, wow.
And then recover.
Yeah.
5 hours later.
Start spitting and stuff and all that.
Spinning is kind of amateur. Like it was a lot of work.
This guy's a boxer. He's a boxer. He's a Golden Gloves boxer.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Dude.
Used to cut a little bit. I always kind of walked around where I fought, so I didn't have to cut. And I know wrestling is a little more extreme weight cutting wise, but
Yeah, I don't. It's funny because I can't imagine the way how they do it these days, but they do because it's like it's an hour weigh-in, even for the NCAA tournament. NCAA tournament, you weigh in the night before. So I was floating, you're showing up on the mat 12 pounds more than you weigh in at.
Right.
These guys now, an hour. It's kind of interesting because you can see, like, I think sometimes guys get upset if they get knocked off. It's in those early rounds because you can tell, like, that guy's he's cutting weight and he's drained. Yeah, he has that time to. That's great box, man.
Yeah, I fought for a little bit. My uncle fought for a long time and, like, had offers to be in Mike Tyson's training camp and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
He was really good, and then I kind of took after him and fought out of North County for a while.
Oh, man.
And I fought at 123, and then I fought at 145 because
That's awesome.
hit puberty extremely late.
Yeah.
So I was,
Man, dude, that's really cool.
Yeah. But I always, like I said, I walked around, like, I never had to do any extreme weight cuts. I mean, you probably, what's the most you remember doing?
Hey, Greg, will you bring that mic a little bit closer?
Yeah, man. I'll lean in. Yeah. I would say, I mean, there's a lot of, for some reason, I remember my junior year at the Big 8 tournament. Back then it was the Big 8. Yeah, I was at Iowa State, and I remember really struggling, thinking I'm not going to make it. And then I do remember at Nationals, I think it was that same year, you basically, so you weigh in Wednesday to wrestle Thursday, and then you weigh in Thursday to wrestle Friday. And I had won enough on Thursday to wrestle Friday. And so Friday, they say, okay, 150-pounders, you're dismissed. You have 2 hours to make weight. Like, basically they'll say your weigh-in will be in 2 hours or something. So I got done wrestling, got on the scale. I think I was like 9.5 over, and I had to make weight in 2 hours, and I made it. So it was fairly extreme. Yeah. That's a memorable one.
Wearing a trash bag? Did you ever do that?
Yeah, I mean, we had like those sauna suits. Those, we had like, we can't really run because you're just gonna get zapped quick. So we would just sort of like, we'd put these bikes in the showers, and we'd seal off the shower, turn on the hot water, seal off the showers with like tarps, and then we'd ride with plastics on. Wow. You'd ride for a while, take a break, ride for a while, take a break, and we had it all like. My friend Chip Bunner had this Scorpions Live album, and it was like almost choreographed to the Scorpions Live album. Like, I knew when to take a break and stuff like that. So yeah, it was pretty brutal. But now you can't wear plastics. It's an hour weigh-in, and
Safety thing.
Yeah. Some kids died in the mid to late 90s, I think. I think it was, I don't know why, but it all happened. It hadn't happened hardly at all. I don't think it ever happened. And then there was a few incidences within the same year, and that's when they changed everything. I think those kids were like taking creatine or something. Like, I think it's when like some of the supplements were around. So whatever supplement they were taking didn't work well with dehydration, and that's what killed them. So it's horrible. But yeah, I wish it wasn't part of the sport, but it's it just
right.
It is.
It only makes sense. You have an advantage obviously if you're heavier. All right, let's go back to this. Do one or two of these. Okay. This could be a stretch.
What are we at? Oh, we're not doing peanut butter anymore, right?
No. We're doing almond butter. Almond butter.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, here's a bit. Not knowing how to say the word or the cigarette brand Marlboro.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I mean, all this stuff is the beginning. Any good comedian has about 100 of these in their phone, and those are all legit things. You just got to figure out, like, how do you twist and turn it? How do you take a different look at it, and how do you present it? But all those are great starting places for jokes. Yeah, because I think they're honest, they're interesting, and they sort of, everybody can relate to it, and it is this genuine. I think most of the stuff I do, it's like starts with some kernel of truth, something that you saw, something that you thought, or something you experienced in life for real, and then you got to kind of twist it and turn it and absurdify it. But yeah, all those things are legit, man.
So how do you, I guess if you were to give me advice, then would you have any advice on how to develop that?
Yeah, man. I mean, real technical, but here's my best piece of advice, and it's going to sound like a cop-out, but it's like, so you have this idea, and then over here you have a finished joke, okay? And there's a lot of different techniques, a lot of different exercises that I can tell people to do to get from here to here. But I can't exactly explain to you what goes on in this space. I can't completely, give you the roadmap for how to get from here, this idea, to making it something that's a punchline that will always make people laugh. What I can tell you, the one thing I've learned, and it took a while to learn, is the more you try to go from here to here, the better you get at it. And at some point, usually about 10 years in or something, there's something clicks and you're like, I think I see how to do that. It's still hard. And it's still not like, I still go days without coming up with anything funny. But yeah, the more you try to just do that process, which is like, I was one of the guys in town, young comics, I was hanging out with yesterday. He was asking me a lot of questions. I'm like, just keep doing it, man. Just keep, that's why you like open the newspaper and write 20 jokes. Maybe one of them is funny, maybe none of them wind up in your act, and all of them will not be in your act because newspaper stuff, it's going to be old.
Yeah.
But that exercise is extremely valuable. And I just have had to do it, mostly for my act, but, in a million different other radio station stuff. You're on the radio, you're whatever, you're trying to punch up jokes for something. A friend of mine's, a TV writer, and he'll send me a script and you'll be like, hey, what do you think? And I'll be like, okay, I think I can find something here. Like if your mind just sort of gets used to doing that type of work, eventually you'll get better at it. And then there is like a giant step change somewhere along the way.
Do you do some writing for TV shows?
No, man, I have no ambition to write for anybody but me. But my best friend's a TV writer, and I have read almost everything he's written. So, usually when he's pitching a show or working on a script, he'll be like, "Hey, what do you think?" And I'll be like, man, I would. And most of it doesn't get used, But I would be like, I think there's a joke here. I think there's a joke here. The interesting thing about TV writing, and I've been in some of those rooms where it's like, with him, it's like you may say this thing and that's not the joke, but it leads that guy to this thing, which leads that guy to this thing, which leads to the thing that actually winds up in the script. So it's pretty interesting. It's tough for me to be in the room doing it because I don't work like that, but eventually you need to. But yeah, I don't. So yeah, my buddy, I've done that, and then he's he helps me out on my act. He's a guy that I used to do a lot of comedy with, and he's a great comic. So yeah, but I've never written, been on the staff for a TV show.
Gotcha. So here's a random off the wall question to you guys. I would assume you still work out and stuff.
Yeah, no, but it's pretty tame.
Not getting on the mat anymore?
No, good God, no, man. Yeah, I think the last time when I was like I think when I was around 40, I'm 54 now. So when I was like 40, my dad was still coaching, and there was a kid that was really good at Kirkwood, and I was in decent enough shape to go with him. I could go,
yeah.
I could beat him because I was a college wrestler. I was a little bigger, and but he was good, and I could go, and I wasn't gonna get too gassed. But that was the last time, and that was 15 years ago. So
wait, when you were 40, you got on the mat with him?
Yeah. When I was 40, I could roll, but that's a high school kid. Like I couldn't have rolled with a college kid at that point.
Okay.
But I could roll with a good, solid state champ type guy, high school kid. But a lot changed since then. I think in my mid to late 40s, I was in Ohio, and I was helping at a camp or something, showing some technique and trying to make them laugh. And there was a college kid there, and I went a go with him, and I just about died, man. I was like, never again, never.
felt something tweak a little something.
Yeah, mostly I felt my lungs and my heart and every bit of my body.
It's like cardiovascular.
Yeah, man. It was just a level of stress on my body that I was like, nah, this can't happen again.
Did you graduate 87 or 86 from high school?
86 in high school. Yeah.
I got the yearbook online if you guys want to look that up. Class 80.
Sure, man. Yeah, check it out.
Greg Warren. Okay, I'm not trying to make you feel old by any means.
Yeah.
What age? So the other day I'm deadlifting, right? And I'm trying to show off a little bit, and I feel everything's the hip flexor nowadays, So I feel that I feel that tweak in the hip flexor, and I kind of had to sleep. I had to do the pillow in between the knees last night, on sleeping on the.
Yeah.
So I had to do that. Did you notice at a certain age you started getting a little banged up in the weight room or anything?
Man, I really have never, other than college, I've never been a weightlifting guy. I've done a couple forays into it, and I can gain a lot of mass really, really quickly. And it's some of the gym guys are like, yeah, dude, you can put on, and I'm like, that's a really bad look, like on TV or on film. It's just not. I'm short, man. So it's just I don't like the way it makes me look. So
Where does it go? Did you put it on at certain area?
everywhere, upper body. Yeah, yeah, just everywhere. But, but it's like my stomach gets bigger too, but not fat. It's just, but it doesn't. It looks like I remember I was working out hard for a while. My buddy's like, dude, what are you putting on some weight? I'm like, I've worked out harder. It just doesn't. My dad's like that. My dad's, he's pretty stocky, and so yeah, it's mostly just cardio stuff. I was doing well. Last year, I was doing pretty well, man. I was doing a lot of like sort of short burst cardio stuff, where you go like, I'll get on the elliptical or whatever, and then go real hard for like 20 seconds, and then off for 3, and then and swimming a little bit, and that was I felt really good. I just kind of I started slacking off a little bit. Then I got sick a bunch, and then that's a problem at my age is. Getting back is the hardest thing. It's like I can do a lot of stuff. Like I could go do an interval workout after this, and I'd get through it and I'd be fine. And then the next 3 days I'd be housed. Almost like a cold. I would like get sick, So, yeah. By the way, man, who were you showing off for at the gym deadlifting?
I'm always showing off for the guys in the gym. So I got a girlfriend, happily take.
You didn't stretch either, by the way.
Yeah, so it's like these gym guys. It's like it's like a thing where it's like who can deadlift the most or whatever. Or it's like
it's sim
gym culture,
something like that.
What gym? Do you
Club Fitness,
Maplewood Fitness.
Yeah, Maplewood. I don't go to any of the real extreme like powerlifting gyms. So
man, this guy, no, I get this guy. He's a trainer, but he's like a genius. He'll stretch you out real hard, and he's a genius. This guy knows a lot about physiology. But
What's his name?
Bart opened a gym out in like on Highway K and 40.
Okay.
Is it called Power? I think it's Project Bart or Power by Bart. And it's like he's got guys like you coming in from all over the country just to go. His gym is that cool for weightlifting guys. It's really, really neat, man. It's just a whole different experience. But you should at least go out there for a day and check it out. It's yeah, it's like Highway K and 40 out in O'Fallon. Okay. And yeah, Bart's really, really funny, cool dude.
Okay. Last name Simpson?
Nah.
Okay.
Nah.
Okay.
If that's one of your things, man. If that's one of your premises, that was the first one that you pitched that was god awful.
Okay.
Yeah. It's embarrassing. It almost
I gotta leave.
It almost like made the other 3 that were good bad. That's this is
it kind of took away my credibility.
Yeah, man. I can't. I'm sorry, dude. I can't.
I was thinking about saying it as you were talking about the gym. I want to try to impress. I'm trying to impress Mr. Warren.
Yeah, yeah.
And I guess I did.
So the reason that's funny is because they both have the same first name.
Wait, who does?
Bart Simpson and Bart. Is that? I'll just make sure I understand the structure. And I guess on one level, like Bart is not necessarily a traditionally like it's a rare name, and that's why like the only other guy would be Bart Simpson.
There's more layers to that joke.
And there's no layers to that joke, and there's
existence.
0 layers to that joke, man.
So do they do like meets and stuff there though?
No, it's not like it's just guys that are not at all. But I mean, I've seen him. I don't go there to work out. I go there to like he's like for an hour I'm on this table, and he's like, it's like hardcore.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I see them all in there, and these guys like it's serious business, and like, some guys like the gym is just a big part of their day, man. It's a gym culture thing, and those guys were like waiting for Bart to build that. It took him. I mean, he put his life into building this thing. It's really cool looking. But they were waiting for months, like, being like, Bart's opened this gym. And it's like, and he literally has people come in from other states. They're like, hey, we want to work out here for the day or whatever. Yes. Or he has people that are regular members that drive like 60 miles every day just to work out at his gym.
No kidding.
Yeah. Yeah, it's,
I might have to check that out.
I think it's Project Bart. Is the name of it.
O'Fallon? It's not by the valley, or is it by the?
No, it's in O'Fallon. Yeah, it's like but it's off like it's not like right on K. It's like kind of off on a outer road, almost in like industrial space.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but he ordered the equipment from Italy, It's you can't. The stuff's like custom made Italian, and they don't have any of their stuff in the U.S. So it's really neat stuff, man.
Wow.
Yeah, this guy's a fascinating dude, really smart guy.
All the equipment has a ton of red sauce on it.
Yeah, man, that's
How, it's on a scale of 1 to 10. How
Dropping the elbow. I think I'm dropping the elbow on that swing there. Throwing the Uncle Charlie at me.
so I would say that is like compared to the Bart Simpson joke, that's
amazing. That's the Mona Lisa.
really funny, which tells you how awful that Bart Simpson joke is.
Okay. So Greg, what kind of, if I were to walk in there for a workout and I see you getting stretched out in there,
Yeah.
what kind of stuff is he? What is he doing? Like,
Man, it is like it hurts, like yeah. But I think you were talking about hip flexors earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the main problem with me is my hip flexors get really, really tight, and which winds up manifesting itself as low back pain.
Yep.
And he's man, and I didn't believe everything he was saying in the first. This chiropractor was, he was like, yeah, I'm doing what I can for you, but you should probably see this guy Bart. I'm like, really? He's like,
wow.
So I go and man, it's intense, man. I tell you to go to him, but you can't get in to see him. He's got a couple guys now that he's taught to do. This guy's a remarkable guy. Like he was paralyzed. They basically said you're paralyzed.
Wow.
And you're not gonna walk again. And he basically is like, no. And he has this mind where he just studied all this physiology stuff and sort of stretches his way out of being paralyzed.
oh, please.
Yeah.
Is it the Squat University, or is that his name? Squat University. Have you heard of that?
No.
He's got like 3 million followers on Instagram.
No, that's not. I don't think that's him.
Different guy. Okay.
Yeah. He probably knows about that guy. But So it's pretty intense, man. And it, I wrestled, so I can kind of sort of tough it out on some stuff.
Right.
So you're saying he's just so booked because he's probably so good at what he does.
Yeah, and he's got the gym, so I think he works out all the time. So it's like I think he has like, he's like, I was like, hey, I want to, I had to like text him through my chiropractor, Dr. Jason, and he's like, it's like, hey man, I want to do this. He's like, tell me about yourself, and I did, and I was like, hey. He's like, well, can you get it was like mornings, which is not my favorite thing, being a comic. But I was like, all right, man.
When you tell people you're a comedian, does it feel like they're expecting you to be funny all the time?
I guess on some level, but it just doesn't make for like, that interaction usually doesn't make for the best humor.
Right.
It's like
You're on the spot.
Yeah, I am on the spot every night. And I know how to do that. But in regular conversation, like in a Cracker Barrel, it's not that funny. It's not that.
I'd worry about the cheese.
They're like, aren't you? They're like, yeah. Some people, I think, mostly idiots for the most part, but they expect you to be on all the time or whatever. And I'm like, hey man, I know those guys. Like I know those guys that are on all the time, and trust me, you don't want that guy. Like they're incredibly annoying. You're not gonna want to be around them. Yeah.
That's my problem is that, there's times it just gets old being on all the time.
Yeah, I know.
I wish I could find a day.
It's a curse with a guy like you and those Bart Simpson.
It's like, sometimes I'm like, can I just take a vacation for a couple weeks,
Yeah, you can't. When you're blessed with a gift like you are, it's like there's no.
We gotta post that. We gotta take everything else out of this conversation. Just post Greg.
I'm comfortable with that.
Telling you I'm a funny guy.
We need to get you laughing really hard at one point so we can cut it to the Bart Simpson joke so it looks like it's great.
Yeah. Nobody's gonna buy that.
I don't know what we're doing on time, but what do you got going on the rest of the day? What's kind of like what do you usually do? You're strictly a comedian. You aren't still doing sales.
No, I've been full time for 20.
Okay, I figured.
Yeah. Yeah, today I got this drive down to Columbia at some point I got to do. So I'll probably try to get some exercise. I woke up early, did radio, and then I went to lunch and I came here. So I'm like, I got to get some exercise, and then I got to go down to Columbia for a couple of days and drive down there. So I'm going to bet if I can get a workout in and drive to Columbia, there's not going to be anything else productive that goes on today, right? Maybe a couple phone calls. I got a special that's coming out in April, and kind of waiting on the final version of the graphic for it. So
Oh, cool.
where'd you get that? I want to send that to my agent and sort of have that get out a little bit. Get some business.
Can you say what it's going to be called?
Yeah, it's going to be called The Salesman. Yeah. It's up you actually, man. Yeah. Oh, cool. It's going to be called The Salesman. It's going to come out on YouTube on April 21st. And it's co-produced and directed by Nate Bargatze, who's a really good comedian and a friend of mine, and has sort of taken an interest in doing like producing some kind of family-friendly comedy specials. He's kind of developing a brand around it. A guy named Mike Vecchione's doing one, and Joe Zimmerman's doing one too. So.
Was it a conscious choice for you to do clean comedy, or did it not work that way?
I wasn't always that way. You know, I was never filthy, but I was profane, I would say. You know, especially when I was doing a character, I'd do characters that I did a little bit more back in the day that were more pronounced, and I was always a little profane. Yeah, and then at some point I got a little cleaner because I was trying to do more TV. Yes, you kind of got to be you got to be clean to be on TV. And then I had some advice from a guy at Sirius Radio. It was like, hey, man, you're almost clean. You need to go all the way, and we can figure out a way to market that a little bit better. So that was why.
Just to, at that point, it's probably just a quick 2 to 3 minute shower and you'll be clean. I feel like I'm not really. I feel like it's not my day. I was writing all these up beforehand. I was Greg.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think they're like which.
My mom was loving these.
She wasn't though, man. There's no way.
She's got a great fake laugh. That's the problem.
I doubt she even fake laughed on shit like that.
She's at home right now going, God bless us.
Yeah. There's no way.
Better stick with selling pencils and pens.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's a quick question for you. I don't know how much time you.
Yeah, we got maybe 15.
Yeah.
This is kind of my maybe first date. Maybe I meet distant relative I haven't seen in a couple of years. This is kind of my go-to.
All right. This is one of my go-tos.
Yeah. Why is somebody that you're dating and your relatives in the same pool?
Same person.
Oh, my family's from Arkansas, so.
Yeah.
So, I've heard that you're a baseball guy. You're probably.
Yeah, man. Love it. Yeah. I'm a giant Cardinal fan. I kind of follow college wrestling sort of every match. I love it. And Major League Baseball.
Okay.
And then I'm generally aware of a few other sports, but those are the two that I like. I kind of live and die with.
Okay. I'm a huge baseball guy too.
Okay, cool, man. Yeah.
I like sitting front row bleachers when it's not too hot. You can get front row bleacher tickets for like $50 on Thursday.
Yeah.
And I feel like you're still right up on the action.
Oh, catch balls.
Yeah, this guy caught 3 balls in one game.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Carlson was throwing them out just like in between innings. Caught 3 of them. We were all.
So the guy threw them to you, but not a game.
Not home runs.
Okay.
And not necessarily trying to throw them straight at him.
Yeah.
He had to make a couple athletic.
Oh yeah.
We were on a double date, and they both the girls still ended up with him. So.
Really?
Yeah.
One of them is my girl.
One of them's his girlfriend. So. Shows you how much catching balls does for you.
Yeah, more than me. Okay, so anyway, here's the question: you know who Mike Tyson is, right?
The baseball player, or the baseball player, or the boxer?
That was coming.
the boxer.
Yeah.
Okay,
so Mike Tyson was a second baseman for the Cardinals in the late 70s, actually.
No way.
Yeah, there's a guy named Mike Tyson that played second base for the Cardinals.
Luckily, he was a little before other Mike got big.
Yeah.
If he was like late 80s, that'd be tough.
Yeah, I think I read Iron Mike's biography back in the day when I was in college.
Okay.
Yeah.
So who wins in a fight? And let's say
probably Mike Tyson.
Let's say who wins in a fight? Mike Tyson, Cardinals Mike Tyson, or boxing?
Yeah, obviously. Okay. All right.
So let's say we're in if we were to knock down these walls.
Okay. Yeah, I would take Mike Tyson against Mike Tyson with a bat. Still Mike Tyson.
Prime Mike Tyson too.
I'd say current Mike Tyson would take. Yeah.
Let's say this. Okay, we're in a gymnasium, basketball court. Prime Mike Tyson, or 200 current Tony Bennett's.
200 current Tony Bennett's against
one singular prime Mike.
The singular. I'm trying to think.
No,
because how old is Tony Bennett's dead?
He's alive.
He's pretty much
kicking.
So he's
kicking.
Late 90s, I would guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, that's a good one. I mean, I would think probably Tyson.
Yeah.
Because I would do it like when I was a kid, and like I don't know if I remember when I was like in college or something, and I'd get my brother's friends, these high school kids, would be like, "We're gonna gang up you," and you. The strategy there is you just grab one of them and be like, "If you guys don't get off me, I'm gonna break your friend's arm," basically. So I could see Mike Tyson just grabbing a couple of Tony Bennett's. I would think the damage that he did to the first 5 Tony Bennett's would scare off the rest of the Tony Bennett's.
Well,
again, maybe Tony Bennett's tough.
He's probably tough, but
he's pretty old, man.
I just kind of wonder, can Mike Tyson throw 200 punches? Because if you can throw 200 punches,
yes,
you can knock
can.
out 200 Tony Bennett's. Right?
Yeah, I'm wondering. I mean, but if you get, the thing is, enough of them,
They swarm him.
yeah, if they get like he's fighting here, and 5 Tony Bennett's are on his legs.
And then
Especially low legs. Like if you get him right below the knee, yeah, he's going down. And then even when he's down, though, it's still going to take another 5 or 6. Because I had a friend that took out several guys,
Tony Bennett.
Oh, yeah?
several guys in college, and then one of them came out after him with a bat, which was a really stupid idea because he was like, "Thank you,
Take that.
yeah." And then eventually they did take. It took several.
Wow.
Yeah, but these weren't Tony Bennett guys.
These were Bill at Tony Bennett. Because not to speak poorly on Tony Bennett, because I love his music actually, but he's kind of like a zombie nowadays. He's a zombie with a great singing voice. That's pretty much what he is. So I'm wondering,
Why is he a zombie? Because he's old?
I mean,
He's got dementia, too. It's just kind of
Was he? Is he sing still?
no.
no, he does.
He doesn't perform anymore.
Okay, then there's no reason we should be taking shots at Tony Bennett right now.
Yeah, my bad.
Yeah, I don't think it's right to be like. I guess if he's taken, you can't call him a zombie.
Yeah.
He's old.
He's a good-looking guy. He's still good looking.
Yeah, man. I don't know. Or maybe he is, but it's like, what you're just saying? Then all old people are zombies, basically.
Okay.
That's probably more fair, though. We can broadly kind of say that, and then that's a little bit less attack on.
Well, no, it's probably it's not a real. It's not a responsible statement.
Yeah, no, I'll take that back. Let's say he's incapable of what he used to be capable of. You know?
I do know, actually. Because those tasks are racking up for me, and I'm only 54, so yeah.
Well, you're starting to feel the changes.
Yeah, there's certain things that well, how old are you, man?
Oh, 23.
23. Yeah, you probably are at the prime where, yeah, I would say it'll be like 30 before you be like, yeah, man, there's some things I can't do that I used to do. Yeah.
Do you drink?
No, not in a long time. Yeah, I did. And it wasn't like I had a problem with it. I just couldn't. I didn't feel good, man. Yeah, I never felt good.
I heard the hangovers start to get worse too. And right now I feel
that was yeah, the hangovers were terrible, man. And it was like when I was your age, I didn't even know what people were talking about when they were saying they had a hangover. It's like, what do you mean? I just would sleep long. When you're in your 20s, you just sleep right through it.
Yeah.
Early 20s, you're just like, oh, I just go to sleep, and whatever bad I was feeling, I wake up, 2 or 3 hours later. But then you're gonna be, yeah. I mean, I just was. What I would do is I would wake up, like I would just wake up after. Yeah, I'd sleep hard for 2 hours and then wake up and couldn't sleep, and then I'm like, man, I cannot do much of this, and it was like taking days to get over the hangover.
Once you got older?
Yeah, once I got older. And it was like each level. Like I was still drinking in my 30s, but not as much. Early 30s, a decent amount. And then 40s, just a little bit. But, kind of after like early to mid 40s, I was like, I don't have any desire to feel like this.
What do you think? For a couple of young guys here, what do you think suggesting on the alcohol? You say, screw it, go for it and have fun? Or?
Man, I don't know. Because if I have any regrets, I think we all know people like there's some people that can drink and it's fine and it doesn't, and then you have some friends that can't and it's a problem. And that's just, if you're one of those people, don't do it, man. Like you're not there's no way. If you are one of those people that completely change personalities when you start drinking, go to AA, figure out something because it's going to be a problem for your life. Now you may be one of the blessed people. I was kind of like that. Like it didn't really affect me. But I do look back and I was like, I wasted a lot of my 20s in bars. I just completely wasted. Like I should have been doing comedy back then. I should have been getting good at something.
Okay.
You know, like, so that's the advice I would give. Like, don't not drink, especially if you like drinking, you know, but if you're in a bar every, 3-4 nights a week or every weekend, it's like, we got to go to the bars. It's fun, but man, and it wasn't tragic, but I look back, I have a brother that's, in his 30s. He's a lot younger than me. And I told him, hey man, don't waste your 20s in a bar, man. It's just, you look back and be like, it was fun, but most of it, I could have been doing something.
Huh.
Yeah, go to the bar one night a week instead of 3,
That's what I've been trying to do. And I just had a doctor's appointment the other day because I was drinking, and I don't think I ever had a problem necessarily, right? But I'd still be the same guy. Like, I just a little goofier probably, but then once you go on a little bit of a bender, then when you're sober, you kind of feel like you got that cloud over your head, And now I cut back to 1 or 2 days, but I was at the doctor yesterday, and this lady was giving me a screening out of nowhere. I felt like I was on the rope. She's like, is the first thing you wake up and think about is drinking? And I was like maybe on a Saturday morning. On a Saturday morning I like to get after it early.
Yeah.
Because I love day drinking.
Yeah, day drinking is fun.
And then she goes, have your friends and family confronted you about drinking? I go, there've been a few people have said a few things.
Yeah.
So I was always giving her that indirect answer,
Yeah.
And then at the end she's like, yeah, you might have to. She's like, these tested positives, you might have to ease off or around.
Really? Yeah, maybe you got a problem with it, man.
I was like, I don't think I do. I mean, I've also went from drinking like 4 or 5 nights a week to like 1 or 2.
Yeah, man, that doesn't, there's a shot you have a problem. I couldn't tell you, but go talk to somebody. Go to a bar tonight and have 1.5 drinks.
Okay.
And
stop there and
stop at 1.5. This is what I've heard from a lot of alcoholics is that's a big test for an alcoholic to be able to go to a bar and have 1.5 drinks and cut it off at 1.5. And that doesn't necessarily mean like if you have to utilize some sort of superhuman strength to do it, and it's really, really hard to do. That still probably means you got a problem. But I don't know a lot about it other than I got a lot of friends that are drunks. A lot of them recovering, and a lot of them not. But yeah, man, it doesn't get easier. I know that.
Like the other night, for instance, I was on a date with my lovely girlfriend.
Shout out.
Shout out.
I don't know if I shouted out when you were like saying it like that.
Shout out.
I certainly don't know a whole lot about women, but I would guess she's like, hey, why didn't you just say I was on a date with my girlfriend instead of going, yeah, I'm a guest. She probably, don't let her watch this, man.
I'm about to get emotional.
They like the goofy these days. They like the goofy.
Yeah, that's not goofy, man. That's like that. He was one step away from going, I was on a date with my girlfriend, which yeah.
Well, I had the open.
No, you're going to piss her off, right? Yeah.
You mean so much to me.
Yeah, you're going to piss her off with that, man. This isn't live, is it?
No, it's not.
Okay, good. Yeah, edit that out.
I edited that out. But I just had 1 glass of red wine. I was feeling great.
Yeah?
So, it is what it is.
Yeah, man, I couldn't tell you. I mean, but it is a thing for a lot of people, man. And I've seen it. If it is a thing, it will go south.
Right.
It will go south, man. Yeah. It'll mess up stuff. Yeah, I've had a lot of friends. I mean, it's probably part of show business, but
have you ever seen it help someone's career?
No, man. I mean, for comics, it's interesting.
Right.
Back in the 80s, like that was 80s, early 90s. It was just a good time business. Everybody was doing, a lot of cocaine, from what I understand, and drinking a ton, and it was just funny guys that got. And now these days, it's not. It's like the young guys. I was in New York, and I know most of those guys. A lot of them that are doing really well now. But a lot of those young guys, these guys, they are like real smart and real driven, and there's a certain amount of work that you need to put in that you cannot if you're a full-time drunk. That doesn't mean there's some guys that, they don't have huge substance problems that are not, really talented and have done well. But yeah, it's a little harder, I think, these days to it was just be like, this guy's There's one guy out of Boston that I know that was like a legend, and he's very, very funny and a cool dude. I don't think he drinks anymore, but they were telling stories. There was all these stories about this guy was a maniac, and he's kind of like, I heard him on something, was like, yeah, man, maybe I should have been writing a little bit during some of those, that 10-year time when I was doing all that stuff.
We about good. I have a little closing gift.
Oh yeah, man.
Yep.
Oh, cool, dude.
Ready for this?
Yeah. It's not one of those one-liners you were zinging.
No, that was
There's a couple zingers.
plenty of gifts.
I do got one question for you before you do that.
Yeah, I got time, man. Whenever you.
Who in St. Louis do you think we should have on next on this podcast?
I don't know, man. Like,
You think we could get Mr. Simpson? Yeah, on the side. Mr.
Bart.
Okay. Maybe we should stay away from that joke.
Jokes.
Yeah, Bart would be awesome, man. I don't think he's going on your podcast. He's a great guy, but he's pretty busy. Maybe you could. If you guys took it out to his gym, maybe if you
That'd be cool.
went out to O'Fallon and did it, maybe.
Okay.
Any other good St. Louis comedy talent?
Great. Yeah, just go to the open mic night on Tuesday and see. There's a ton of really, really funny people here, man. Yeah, Sean O'Brien's always a great podcast guest, man.
Sean O'Brien?
Sean O'Brien's really fun to have on any podcast.
Is he a tall guy? I think he go to Vianney High School, did he?
No, he's originally from Rochester, New York.
Okay.
So he's really funny, dude.
Yeah.
And like, he's always funny on stuff like this.
Great.
All right.
We'll reach out.
So just, you didn't have to do this. I'm a guy who likes to show appreciation to people. It's what I have to do.
See, this is scaring me, man. There's too much of a preamble to this gift.
I just want to,
Makes me nervous, man.
people say
I don't think this is a genuine gift.
people say, no, it is. It really is.
It really is.
It's
Genuine, like my girlfriend, like that kind of
no,
genuine.
honestly, my girlfriend's awesome.
I bet she is, man. That's why I'm telling you, cut that.
I know I joke around too much. I gotta be a little. Yeah, I joke around. All right, so people say, Jack, your love language is gift exchange. That's
Okay.
what love language is.
All right.
So what I have for you in my right hand right now that
Already not comfortable with that.
that I'm kind of hiding is not only a $5 scratch off winner.
Oh yeah.
Not only. All right, this is a $5 Emerald Sevens scratch off winner. You can only turn that in the state of Illinois.
Really, man?
Yeah.
I'm going. I got a show there. So you going Illinois?
So
I got a show in Illinois on Saturday. So
perfect. So if you happen, so when you're across the river,
you bet I will.
right
Yeah.
there, I'll put that on the table. And if you happen to not take it, it's okay.
Yeah. I think you should. I think you want to keep that, man. Yeah.
That's been sitting in my center council for about 3 months.
Why don't you keep that, man?
So yeah,
See, it wasn't a genuine gift, man. I thought it wasn't a genuine gift, but I appreciate the the creativity to.
well, but people say, and I don't know a ton of. I've only met a few people that know you, but people say that guy, he loves comedy and he loves wrestling and he loves scratch offs.
Is that right?
Right?
Yeah.
The Craig Warren.
I don't think so, man. Yeah, I mean, I do like some forms of gambling. O'Brien, if you get in here, that guy's a scratch off monster. Yeah, the guy loves it.
But
But
a fresh one.
because I think I think I might have a couple sitting at home too. Do they expire?
This one might be.
Oh, okay.
Check
Yeah.
it.
It looks good. Has it got like sort of an Irish theme about it or something?
Yeah, Emerald 7.
Emerald, sure, yeah. Okay.
Irish. St. Patty's Day's coming up.
Yeah, man. It was like the biggest holiday in my house growing up.
Oh, yeah?
Mom was a big St. Patty's Day person.
Do you do Dogtown for?
Man, when we were kids, we'd go down to the parade. Yeah, we'd go to both parades when we were kids.
Yeah.
And then I haven't been in town for a St. Pat's Day in a while, usually on the road, but I would like to go to that parade at some point.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool. You guys going down there?
Yeah, I would
Yeah,
off work.
Yeah.
So that's what I do best.
What do you, and you're you're in sales, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
And I actually enjoy my job for the most part.
Yeah, man. I liked my job. I did it for 10 years. I just sort of, I was pretty sure when I quit my job, I was going to have to go back to doing stand-up. I was going to have to go back to doing my job, but I quit it to do stand-up, and I was like, all right, I'm going to get this out of my system, and in 2 years, I'll just go find another sales job. But I didn't hate it. I just was like, I think there might be something more,
Cold calling's a tough thing because
Yeah, I didn't have to do that. That's brutal, man. That's really hard.
and people, again, I mean, I'm not knocking down like the importance of my job, but it's like I'm not calling people selling like medical pumps and stuff like that. I'm selling like office supplies, you know.
Yeah.
So it's a little tougher to convince, you know, like it's a little tougher to convince people in the middle of the workday. Do you want to sit down and talk about notebooks? You know?
Yeah, man.
But
I use a lot of notebooks, man. Maybe I'll.
well, if you need, you know, let me know.
Yeah.
I'll give you a ring. Just
Yeah.
Jack.
I'd probably buy like a carton of notebooks. Is that what you have like spiral notebooks?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
the best. Yeah, we.
What's the smallest quantity that you sell?
I can sell you a 5-pack.
5-pack of notebooks? Dude, why do they have a full-time employee selling 5-packs of notebooks?
Even 5-pack. Well, that's kind of the local. That's the B2B or the M to M.
Okay, but I mean, like, what would you sell some business
Put it on the spot here.
that buys notebooks?
Oh man, I hope my boss doesn't see this.
You guys sell like a case of notebooks?
Can I look this up real quick? I believe so.
Yeah, hit me up, man. I'll buy a case of notebooks.
Okay.
I go through a lot of them, you know. And I'm sick of going to Walgreens. Man, I might as well give the business to you.
And the truck will deliver it to wherever you're at too.
Really?
Yeah. So it's next day delivery, and we can if you want to put 5 notebooks on a pallet, we can palletize it for you.
Nah, I think it's unnecessary.
Okay.
Do you want those branded with your logo?
That would be cool.
Can you do that?
We cannot. I don't think.
That's what our company does. So
Oh, are you a branding guy?
yeah, we're a branding guy.
So what do you make?
We would take the notebook from one place, and then we send that to a decorator. They put your logo on it, and then we distribute it to you. So
Do you design the logo, or do you guys just
we can.
Are you in the printing business? Is that what you're?
No, not necessarily branded merchandise and apparel. So if you go to Quick Trip, all those uniforms are our company.
It's a good looking uniform, man.
It's great.
Thank you.
It's at a good logo. Yeah. It's
So that I steal his business.
the red shirt with the QT on it. It's a nice patch. It's tasteful. It's
Yeah,
it's a good looking uniform.
classy.
Blows shell out of the water. Last time I saw a shell uniform, I was
Man, that I read somewhere Shell was the number one recognized,
of course.
symbol, like
Really?
corporate symbol in the world.
Okay.
Really? Yes.
Should have kept my mouth.
Sorry, man.
No, it's all right.
Just didn't mean to shoot you down on that, but I something in my brain says that like worldwide that is the number one recognized like corporate logo.
Over Shaky and over Nike.
Yeah, I think so, man. But now this is going back, so maybe Nike took him down.
That classic shell version.
But it's hard to say Nike because like you have to go swoosh to the shell because because Nike has the word Nike on it, you know.
And Shell, Shell just they don't have shell.
Shell, yeah, just a shell. So
Do you think if Shell put the word shell next to the shell, you think they would take away the beauty of it?
man, I don't know. Ask him, man. He's in the.
Yeah.
You guys, did you do that Under Armour then?
We did not. No. So no. Short answer, no.
Yeah.
No.
You should give him a call.
This is my grandpa's actually.
You're wearing your grandpa wears Under Armour? That's pretty hip.
He's pretty cool. He's pretty cool, grandpa.
That's Tony.
Actually, I forget how young you guys are. I probably went to high school with your grandpa.
I think so. My dad and maybe your mom. He was 87. He went to CVC.
Oh, yeah, man.
So
Yeah, that was like, it was still down in the city then.
Yep.
CBC?
Yep.
Yeah, my mom went to DeBerg.
Bishop DeBerg, and they're gone, right?
No.
Oh,
Still kicking, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, they're still going?
Right by us.
Okay. Yeah, my mom grew up right down here.
Oh, did she?
Yeah.
What's area specifically?
She was on Arsenal and Hampton or Arsenal on Filer maybe.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. She grew up real. I mean, it was cool driving here because I was like, oh,
Or close to Arsenal and Filer go the same way, but
okay, yeah.
I know.
I'm trying to think, man. It was an old Velvet Freeze, and now it's like some Greek restaurant across the street from where she grew up. There's a little park there. She grew up real close to the mental institution.
oh,
Giant building.
okay.
Yeah.
I'm not good at directions.
It's like it's the biggest building around here.
It's where we used to play soccer on that by that school.
Yeah, man. Yeah, she grew up real close to there. So yeah, I love South St. Louis, man. It's I love coming down here, man. It's a lot of good memories.
That's a good way to wrap up. Do you want to shout out anything as far as what you're doing? I know you got the special coming up.
Yeah, that's it. It's good talking to you guys. Good to meet you guys. Yeah, man. in all sincerity, I thought that your ideas were good, man, for jokes. Like, I mean, that's you just got to develop them. All of those, like, I could see, like, put some work in, and then you'd be like, oh, this is pretty funny. You know, I just got to figure out how to say it. Yeah.
Yeah, appreciate it. I got to get back to doing the open mics more consistently.
Yeah, I would tell you if it's something that you think you might want to do, which my guess is that if you had enough guts to get up there and do that, this is probably not something you're going to get out of your system. And if it isn't, just start doing it, even, because there is no substitute for getting on stage all the time. And they're like, everybody has to sort of go through this period of like being uncomfortable.
Right.
And there's a lot of people like, I'm thinking about doing it, man.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking about doing it. I just want to get everything perfect. Like, no, dude, just start doing it. Cause it's like, it's going to be rough for a while, That doesn't mean it's not going to be fun there's like really fun times while you're not the best in the world,
Yeah.
It's awesome. Greg, thank you for coming.
Yeah,
I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Yeah.
I think we'll wrap it up there and we'll roll credits.
Roll credits.
Thanks, guys.